the people of West Cavan have been lied to by the government. This was a few years ago, the promise that we opened bawnboy Garda station. Now, it's only a small Garda station, but full-time was in the programme for government back in 2017. We're going that far back. But the government promised, and they said to the people of the area, yeah, we will reopen the Garda station. The local Fianna Fáil TD, Brendan Smith, I heard him 3 or 4 times on the radio saying to the people, yeah, we were open, and he lives in the area. Or he's from the area, may I say, too. And he said, yeah, it'll be open. And I heard Heather Humphreys too at one stage saying, yeah, we will reopen the Garda station. Because she was a minister at the time. And they said in the programme for government they would reopen the Garda station in Bombay. Because they promised. And again, I'll show you the Irish Times article. It was one of 6 Garda stations that were meant to be open. To reopen in 2017. Again, this is in December 2017. This is a long time ago. Now, Bombay Garda station is a lot smaller than this Garda station, so still, at the end of the day, when they promised it, when they said to the people, and they said overwhelmingly many, many times that they would reopen it, and they said to the people, yeah, no bother at all, we have it open. And I have a lot to say about this too, because I was in touch with the Office of Public Works. I don't know, but 6 or 7 times I rang the Office of Public Works, because it was the people who were responsible, as it says here in the Anglo-South. They were forced to do an up basically of the Bombay Garda station. They said it was going to cost €250,000 to kind of fix it up and do it up and all that. Because it wasn't the County Council, it was the Office of Public Works. Because obviously the Garda station had been left lying for a good few years. And it took a long, there was a lot of work to do in it, in fairness, there was. But they basically they worked on it for about 3 months and then they left it. And since then nothing has been done with it. And obviously when 2 governments passed now nearly, one government I suppose, give or take, all of them been the same. But the minister, it was Alan Shannon, the minister for justice at the time, that just shows you. But it's a long time ago. But it was closed in 2020, but again, what I'm trying to say was the promise broken. Because the local TDs, even the local TDs at the moment said it would be done. And again, I hear Brendan Smith and Eve Smith too, saying this shouldn't happen, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, they were in government. I don't know why they're saying it. They were in government, and Eve Smith's a junior minister. Is she going to do anything about it? It's Heather Humphreys. She's one for the presidency. Is she going to do anything about it? Because why would you promise it and then say we won't deliver it? Because you shouldn't promise if you're not going to deliver. Now, I don't know about the other Garda stations, but as it clearly states here too in the article, that the one that was outlined was Bombay, County Cavan. And obviously these other Garda stations were a lot bigger. But it wasn't delivered. So basically that's what I'm not happy about. Because regardless if they're talking about building anything, regardless of what they say, if the government said they're going to do something in the community, then do it. Simple as that. There's no such thing as they have the money. They can spend hundreds of millions of euro on fucking senseless stuff. But yeah, it was going to cost that much anyway. Because I was told that originally too. That from the Office of Public Works themselves, there was an awful lot of work to be done. The roof needed to be replaced and all that. Because I was talking to many of them in the Office of Public Works, and obviously a lot of them were bullshit us, to be totally honest with you. They were trying to brush me off and stuff like that. But yeah, I had huge kick up about Bombay Garda station. I often mind the Office of Public Works, as I say, but it was like talking to the fucking wall, to be told, because they wouldn't give me direct that. So when they're going to do anything with it, because again they stopped for 3 months, and they said, it's only temporary stop, and then they wouldn't explain to me when they were going to start again and all that. So it was just a load of bullshit, if you excuse my language. Yeah, but just saying with the local councillor Anya Smith, she's in Fianna Fáil too, and Fianna Fáil's in government, and Brendan Smith's in government along with Eve Smith. Eve Smith's a junior minister, more responsibility, of course, more power too. But not a help. But this is a sense of betrayal, because it was said it would happen, and again when you go, what I go by in life, when you say something, you stick by it. Because we see all the money for refugees, etc., for the social welfare, the social housing, and there's no money for Irish communities. And that's just putting it straight. If this was a town full of refugees, etc., there would be, OT would jump off the roof, to be totally honest, because there would be open arms over it. But it's just that the majority of Bombay is a very rural town with a few farms, etc. They couldn't care less, and the majority of people are probably Irish, and to be totally honest, and I hate to make it a wasting, but that's just the simple truth. Because it's only a small town in rural Ireland and West Cavan, what do we care? As long as it's not in Dublin or in some heavily divorced area, that's when the government care about them things. But at the end of the day, there's money for that, so they can't argue, say there's no money. But again, they're putting it up for sale. But there's a lot of concern what it's going to be, because it's a small Garda station, but a big enough ground on it, if that makes any sense. Like, there's a good bit of ground. They could build probably something there, but the next thing they probably could come along with is we're going to make a direct provision centre. That could be the next thing, because who knows who's going to buy it. It shouldn't be put up for sale in the first place. The land belongs to the state. It belongs to the government, to the county council in more specific terms. Obviously the Office of Public Works, may I say, not the county council. But it should be public land, and it should be still public land. The only thing I could see they could do with it is the school is next door to it, unless they make it into a kind of special needs area for the school. That's what I would recommend they would do, if they're not going to make it a Garda station or something like that. But of course they're not going to listen to me. But I'm very frustrated, and I don't live that far away from Bawnboy. A good maybe 30 minutes, but still a good bit of a distance. But I would have been happy to see another Garda station open in this part of Cavan, because the only Garda station, I'm in West Cavan, the only Garda station that's open pretty much is Cavan Town, the main Garda station. The rest of the Garda stations are all closed. Belturbert's open once in the blue moon. Ballyconnell is open, nearly open all night. I think it's open nearly all night anyway. It's hard to know, to be done, but long story short, there's not enough Gardaí in Cavan, we all know that. But even though it would have been only, I think they said there were only 4 Gardaí assigned to Bawnboy Garda station, but still, nonetheless, it would have been better for them to be in Bawnboy than sitting in fucking Dublin doing nothing. Excuse my language. But it is a betrayal, and I think we all have to admit that, because it is a betrayal of the trust of the people in Bawnboy, the trust of the people of West Cavan, that we entrusted them as government TDs and senators, even county councillors too. They should be all up in arms at the moment. They should be up outside, the Dáil, giving a fuck about it. Or they should be tearing Heather Humphreys a new one, obviously one with the presidency. Or they should be saying to Heather Humphreys, now we won't let you run for the presidency unless you pull a favour and do something for us. That's what they should be saying to the local councillors here and the local TDs. They should be saying to Heather, if you don't do this, we won't support you. But of course they won't. They won't do. None of them have the guts to do it. But yeah, we see what happens. But it's a betrayal of the people of West Cavan, and it is, and particularly Bawnboy. It's a nice place. I know many people from Bawnboy. It's a lovely place to be. It's a nice, well kept place, and it would have been nice to see the Garda station back open there, because again there was a lot of rural crime even back 2 years ago. There was a good few cattle stolen and farm thefts from tours and material, etc. in the area. Because as I say, it's quite a rural area outside Ballyconnell. It's quite a rural area. But yeah, let me know what you think. Because as I said at the beginning of this video, what really affects me the most is I tried myself to get answers in terms of this. What were they going to do with it when they originally stopped? And again, I have 6 emails. I probably have to go back looking. I wish I probably won't show, because the name of the fellow is probably on it. But I have 6 emails from back, probably, it must be 4 years ago, 5 years ago, nearly at this stage. It's a long time. It's before even the lockdown. But if I find them, I'll probably put them up just to see what was been said, because it was all a load of codswallop now, we all know. And I did ring them a few times, but I got the emails too, to basically talking codswallop to me when I rang them up, etc, etc. Oh yeah, this, we get to them writing and all that. A lot of codswallop. But anyway, let me take, subscribe for more, and bye.